A decision on sexual assault allegations against Florida State quarterback Jameis Winston will take at least 2 weeks. I'm Jim Baskel with the latest ESPN headlines. The state attorney's office investigating the case has pushed the timeline, with one of the primary reasons the fact that one of the top assistants is involved with a capital murder case next week. We are joined by ESPN.com college football reporter Mark Schlabach with more insights. And Mark, William Meggs, the state attorney in Tallahassee, said 4 or 5 things still need to be done before a decision could be made. Is there any understanding of what those things are?
No, I know there's still some evidence out. I talked to William Meggs earlier today, and he just told me they really don't have a definitive timeline. Like you said, one of his top assistant state attorneys is involved in a capital murder case in Tallahassee, and he said, believe it or not, we haven't shut down the office and solely focused on this case. They're aware of the stakes and the circumstances and importance surrounding this case, but they're spread pretty thin right now, and the holiday just makes it more difficult to go ahead and come to a conclusion.
Hey, Mark, if Winston were to be charged with a felony, he would be subject to immediate suspension from the team. Is there any understanding that it could get to that?
It's tough to say. I mean, it's a case that's still up in the air. All we know is the DNA evidence came back, and it matched the DNA that was found in the accuser's underwear from the night in question. Winston's attorney, Tim Jansen, says it was consensual sex. We know that William Meggs and his staff met with the accuser last Thursday and interviewed her for several hours. But beyond that, I'm not aware of what actual evidence Meggs has.
It's interesting because FSU has a policy that does include a stipulation that allows a suspension to be waived for extraordinary circumstances as determined by the administration. So, even if he does get charged with a felony, do you see some level of interpretation by the school which would allow Winston to play in what could be a national title game?
I'd be surprised. Traditionally, Florida State student athletes charged with a felony crime have been immediately suspended. Back in June, FSU wide receiver Greg Dent was charged with second-degree sexual assault and was immediately suspended from the team and has not played this season. If it's a serious felony charge, I just don't know that Florida State could afford to take the PR hit.
Mark Schlabach covers college football for ESPN.com. Mark, we appreciate the insight.
Thanks, Jim.
Winston is a leading Heisman candidate and has guided the Seminoles to an 11-0 record in his first season as a starter. He has been accused of sexually assaulting a woman on December 7th of 2012, as Mark said. DNA analysis completed by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement last week confirmed the DNA provided by Winston matched that sample taken from the accuser. You can read more about this story right here on ESPN.com. With the latest ESPN headlines, I'm Jim Baskel.